Here we are. Welcome to a brand new episode of the podcast. I'm your host, Mike Herrera. It is the 13th of January, 2025. We're almost halfway through the month. Dry January. Is anybody sober this month? Or do you do that kind of thing? I love a challenge, but I don't usually do those types of challenges. Like my timeline is usually off from the time. I'm hitting the mic. My timeline's usually off from the general public and what social media is doing. So if there's a no nut November or a dry January, I'm like, okay, but I'm not really ready for that. I'm doing this. I got to do that. I know what you're saying. Anybody can be ready to just not drink for a month, right? Well, maybe, but I don't know. I think I like a dry March or a dry February. Anyway, I would love to hear what you guys are doing. If you guys do did you join a gym this year? Did you make some sort of plan for 2025 going forward? Something that you decided, I'm not going to drink any more caffeine. I'm not going to drink any more alcohol. I'm going to start exercise. Whatever it is, it doesn't have to do with health or anything like that. It could be something completely different. I would love to hear about it. Call in, leave me a voicemail. The number is 360-830-6660. All right, appreciate that. MXPX.com if you want to support what we do. We have merchandise, hoodies, t-shirts. We have pajama pants. Those are kind of a big hit this year. A ton of different t-shirt designs. We got a lot of really cool stuff right now. So if you haven't seen it, MXPX.com. We also sell concert tickets from there, although there's nothing going on right now. But we do have posters, and if they're not up yet, check back very soon because I know we have a few posters from Texas left over, and they'll be up in the store very soon. All right. Here's another thing. I've just been fiddling with this in my hand, and you can't see it on the camera very well, and you definitely can't see it if you're listening to the audio version on wherever you're listening online. But this is an acrylic pen, the Space PX. It's the Find a Way Home. Poking at your punk. He's got a helmet. He's holding a helmet, and he's wearing his spacesuit. We got these at MXPX.com as well, and these are just part of the collection. We've had different pins that we've sold over the years of the Poking at your punk, wearing different outfits, and he's got a new drip each time. But these are very cool. I love collecting little acrylic pins. Appreciate everything. Obviously, don't feel bad if you can't afford to go to MXPX.com and buy stuff. You can always just listen to MXPX, listen to the new album, listen to the self-titled album, listen to anything we put out in the last couple of years. It all helps. You listen to anything you want, to be honest, but the new stuff is stuff that we actually released ourselves. So the more people listen to that, the more successful we actually become. It's pretty amazing. All right, you guys. Hey, I just wanted real quick, before we get to some voicemails here, I want to say last week there was a bunch of fires in the Los Angeles area, and I don't know how it all came out. I'm sure there's still a lot of devastation, and there's going to be cleanup for months and months and months. And people lost homes, neighborhoods. They lost the whole infrastructure of their towns. Pretty devastating fires, and my heart goes out to a lot of friends and family, but my heart goes out to everybody. But there's a lot of friends down there that a few friends that actually lost their houses and their whole neighborhood burned up. Post offices, grocery stores, gas stations, you name it, everything's gone. So in some of those areas. So much love to you all. My thoughts are with you. Sending just the best vibes down there. And I would encourage, if anybody's in the position to help out, get online. I'll try to, I'll put a link in the show notes on the podcast. So if you guys want to find a link to donate for the fire victims, I'll do that. All right. Thank you, guys. Let's get into some of your voicemails. All right, here we go. We just got back from Texas, by the way. Texas was so much fun. Houston, House of Blues, Dallas, House of Blues was so much fun. So Houston was almost sold out. Dallas was sold out. Both shows slammed. I thought Houston was a better show just because I think my own personal feelings about like, oh, well, I didn't feel like I sang that one song as good as I sang it, you know, the night before or something. Like, that's how I gauge how shows are. It's kind of funny. But everybody said that Dallas was absolutely insane. The crowd was so much louder. And the crowd in Houston was really loud. Everybody sang great, like no problems. They went off. But then Dallas was even louder. And I love that. Thank you all, everybody down there that came out in Texas. You really made us feel like we were loved and appreciated, and you know, that's everything. So real quick, I want to say thank you to Ryan at Sunbird Barbecue. He brought out this whole spread: brisket, barbecue brisket, pork ribs. Actually, were they pork? I think they were pork ribs, and pork burnt ends. A few different things. This like corn Mexican kind of thing that was just had jalapenos on it. It was out of control. It was so spicy. One of my favorite little side dishes I've ever had. It was so good. We didn't waste a lot of time with the vegetables. There was a vegetable dish and nobody had touched it. I had a few bites, but mostly we were just like chowing on the brisket. I was chowing on the brisket, just boom, boom, boom. The ribs, some of the best ribs we've ever had. So Sunbird, they're a barbecue joint in Longview, Texas, and they run out daily. So by the end of the day, they're done. They don't have any more meat. So if you get there early, support them. They hooked us up, so I appreciate that. And Ryan said he wants to come back and do it again next time. So yes, I ain't gonna turn that down, because Texas brisket is some of the best food in the world. Like, it is just immaculate. And it's not for everybody. Not everybody can handle it, but and I'm not even sure I can handle it like daily. But every now and again, I can eat a feast of brisket and all that barbecue stuff. It's so good. So yeah, good stuff. Whoa, appreciate you. Let's get to the voicemails. Here we go.
Hey, Mike. My name is Michael Fincher. I'm gonna try to stay as focused as I can. I'm running on high adrenaline. I just left the Dallas show, which was amazing. Holy crap. I haven't seen y'all since 2001, Slick Shoes, Good Charlotte. And this just was amazing. Not to mention, I took my daughter, my 13-year-old daughter, on a date to her first punk rock show. And, you know, she likes you guys. I listen all the time, and so she knows songs, and I made her a playlist. In fact, I shared on your podcast page the playlist cover I made for the Dallas show, called it MXPX Dallas Prep, and I shared it with her, and I knew she would listen to it, and like I said, she likes y'all, but you know how it is as a parent trying to get your kids. They don't love the bands you love as much as you do, of course, but, oh my God, she had an amazing time. We moshed together, we sang together, we jumped together, and when we left, she told me it was one of the most amazing experiences of her life. And as a dad, to get to share a night with it was like one of the most amazing, fun experiences I've had in such a long time with my daughter. It just means so much. And so I just want to thank you guys. I've been, like, you're going to hate this, but I've been listening to y'all since my friend brought over Let It Happen when I was in 8th grade. Don't worry, I went out and bought Slowly Going the Way of the Buffalo, and then went back and bought Let It Happen. But anyways, I fell in love with y'all then, and who would have thought when I was in my 40s I would still be listening to y'all, loving y'all just the same, and sharing that with my daughter, and her to say that she had one of the greatest experiences of her life, screaming and squealing because she was getting smushed during punk rock show. We had so much fun. You guys are awesome. I'm just so thankful for you guys, your band, your podcast. I listen to your podcast. I've been listening to it for like 8 years weekly. So this is my first time to ever call in. But I just had a real good reason to. But the show was amazing. The energy, the atmosphere, the set list. Oh, it just kept surprising me. Ending is one of my favorite songs, and when y'all played that, I just started screaming. I mean, I think I was screaming the whole time. But anyways, love you guys. Love your podcast. And I just, every time you come to Dallas now, I'm coming. And I'll bring my boys next time too. They're 6 and 8, but I saw a bunch of kids that age there. They're ready for this too. So I can't wait to share you guys next time y'all come to Dallas with my whole.
Oh, that's it. Dude, Michael, thank you for calling in. Thanks for being a first-time caller, a long-time listener. I appreciate that. I can hear the adrenaline in your voice. I can hear the excitement. I can hear it all, and it's pumping me up. It's kind of giving me goosebumps. You know, I know that feeling. You know, I have kids too, and I got to take my kids to see the Descendants, and it was their first real show. I never even brought them out to MXPX. Not until I brought them to see Descendants. They saw the Descendants, and then I'm okay. All right, you can come out and see MXPX. So they came out and saw MXPX in Vegas for the first time at When We Were Young Fest. Watched MXPX from front of house and side stage because we played 2 days in Vegas. And they came out to our show, one of the shows in Bremerton. I don't know if they came out to both. But I think they probably did actually, now that I think about it. But it's amazing to bring my kids. I can only imagine, Michael, like just being in the pit with your kid. It's a beautiful thing. So thank you for calling in. Thanks for just communicating that to us. Man, I wish I could ask follow-up questions a lot of times. And one of these days we'll do something like that. But that was awesome. I love the set prep, and I did see that MXPX set prep or show prep playlist you put out. That's such a cool thing, and really, you know, like I used to do that too. Like I'm going to see a show, I would listen to that band the week leading up, and like on the way to the show, listen to Rancid on the way to the show. You know, so excuse me, burp, hiccup, whatever it is. It's just part of life for me, you know. Whenever I go to a show, I'll listen to the band, just getting pumped up, getting ready for it. And the fact that you do that too, and now you actually made a playlist. Kudos, well done. All right, let's get the next one.
Hello, Mike. This is Micah Mendoza, and I am calling to ask you about an album that I have in mind right now. The album is Panic. As you see, we are reaching the 20th anniversary of that record coming up in June. And I just wanted to know if you had any stories about the record, or what was the process behind making that record, after, before, everything, and after. It really is. It was my first introduction to you guys back when I was in elementary school in 4th grade. And ever since then, I've played with you guys on stage before in Dallas in 2018, and I mean, I'm always going to be a fan of you guys. I mean, just overall, thank you to the band, and thank you guys for what you do. And yeah, I hope you have a good day.
Dude, Micah, thanks for calling in. Nice to hear from you. I wonder if you were in Dallas this last time. I didn't see you. But that night in Trees, when you came up and played all of it with us on guitar, that was awesome. And you kicked ass. You really did great. And we don't always do that, you know, because we don't always want to be like, okay, well, they're definitely going to do this. So we really do kind of keep it as a rare thing, and you really nailed it and did great. So in Houston, Chris Rowe came up and sang and killed it. He's got such a great voice, and he came up and sang with us, Stay Up All Night. And then in Dallas, we had Emily Whitehurst, Agent M. Her band Tsunami Bomb maybe they're around, but she doesn't play. She doesn't sing for them anymore. She does her own thing called Survival Guide. But she's got a great voice, and she always kind of like, okay, well, that's a little too high or too low for me, so I'm going to like change it up a little bit. I'm like, please do. Make it your own. Do your thing. That's what I want everybody to do. So Emily did great, and she sang Worries with us as well, and that's a song that she sang on the record with us, on the recording. So we had her come up and do that. She killed it. It was so good. Thanks for calling in. Panic. All right, Panic. You know, a little bit about Panic was we signed to Side One Dummy Records and we're talking to Joe Sib, and we had a bunch of songs. You know, we had Stephen Edgerton came in, and we just basically kind of hired him to record a bunch of demos for us, and some of which we were like, okay, this has definitely got to make the record. But we ended up doing that kind of a session, sending these songs to the label, and Joe was like, all right, we still need a couple more songs. So he set me up to write with Mark Hoppus, and I went down there, and Joe Gittleman also, and and we had Steve from the Adolescents. So Steve we co-wrote Get Me Out. I was like, what song was it? Get Me Out. Simple song, just an idea I had. He kind of put some ideas to it. But Steve Soto was a great songwriter. I had already known Steve quite a bit. And then Joe Gittleman pretty much he co-wrote Heard That Sound with me. And I just mainly added my flair to it. I added more words to it. But he came up with the basics of that song. And then Wrecking Hotel Rooms with Mark Hoppus, I went over to his house and he had a riff. Do-do-do-do-do. That was his riff. He wrote that. And I took that and we kind of messed around with it for, an hour or two, and kind of had a few things, and was like, all right, cool. And we were just at his house in Hollywood, and, it was just like one of these old Hollywood kind of ramblers, one floor, and it goes around this pool area in the back. Very beautiful, very nice spot, very, very 1950s kind of vibe to it. But yeah, once we kind of like messed around with the idea for a little while, it just, after a little while, you're kind of like, okay, I'm done thinking about this. I'm done writing. I'm going to take this and I'll work on it later. So I took off from his house, went back to my hotel. I was staying at the Standard in Hollywood, and on Sunset Boulevard right there. And it was really loud out. And I just remember I was like with my guitar in the room messing with Wrecking Hotel Rooms, and I came up and I wrote the whole song right then in the hotel room. That's why it's called Wrecking Hotel Rooms. And then after we had those songs, Joe Sib came back. He's like, all right, we're ready to record. Let's get you in the studio. And we recorded with Gavin McKillop, who produced the theme song from Friends. That song. So he was a great guy, though. Like we really had a blast with Gavin, and he came up to Bremerton and stayed in Bremerton. We recorded at not even here. We didn't have Monkey Trench Studios yet. We were at the Clubhouse where the Merch Arsenal is right now. That used to be the Clubhouse Studios. So Gavin came in, we recorded there. And then we finished up some overdubs, and Mark came in down in Hollywood. It was North Hollywood at Gavin's studio. Gavin's studio was called, honestly, I don't remember what his studio was called. I don't know if it had a name. It was a studio. But it was right there next to, what's that, Clown Liquor? Or it's like a big clown, and it's a liquor store, and it says liquor. And it's right in Ventura, North Hollywood area. That's right where right around the corner is where his studio was. Anyway, that was a nice little spot. He mixed the whole record there. And so we just hung out. We got to eat some good Mexican food, and Mark Hoppus came in and sang his part. Yeah, it was good. It was cool. I just remember that being a record that felt easy to make for the most part. Like once we had the songs, we just went in there and did it, and it was really easy, really fun. Gavin made it easy. And we had just spent the last record before that was Before Everything and After, and that was a slog. It wasn't a hard record to make, but it was a slog because we just spent so much time making the record and then going back in and doing a whole nother session for another month or two. Like, it was just like, well, why aren't we done with this yet? This is dumb. So, but we did finally finish that record, and it came out great. But it was just, it is what it is. And with Panic, everything just seemed easier. Seemed like we spent so much less money on it, and just it was just less involved. So there's my Panic story. There's not really a story, but it was just some things about Panic. All right. Thanks for calling in, Micah. Appreciate you, and hope you're doing well, man. All right. Let's get to the next one.
Hey, Mike. It's Carl Johnson from Little Rock, Arkansas. We were one of the first bands that you guys that you reviewed at Music Mondays is like Street Judge Monday, 455. I think it was the episode. Anyways, I just wanted to say I really, 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 really appreciate the kind words. You said we're like the Descendants, but not too much like the Descendants. But that meant a lot because they're my most favoriteest band in the world, along with you guys. My question for you is, I've been listening to you for a while, and you kept talking about the state of punk rock over the you talked about the state of punk rock and like over the years and the market, and I'm wondering, is punk rock not popular enough because, and this isn't a slight against you guys or anything, but is it not popular enough because you guys, like bands like you aren't playing smaller markets anymore? Or is it because bands aren't letting local bands open for them anymore? Is it the death of the all ages show? Because in Little Rock, there is no all ages show really, except for one venue, and that's Vino's. So I was kind of wondering what you think it is. Or is it the death of Warp Tour? Just kind of curious of what your opinion is. And
yeah.
Again, I appreciate it. I love the music. Stay Up All Night's a great song. And Well Adjusted is my favorite song ever. And I love you guys. Please come to Little Rock. Let Trafficking Melodies open for you. Pretty please. And keep doing the Lord's work, sir. Thank you.
All right, Carl. Thanks for the call. Why is punk rock not popular? Why is it less popular than it was? Well, okay, I'll tell you one thing. Let's break it down. I'm no expert, but let me just give you my thoughts. It'll be different tomorrow, probably. Punk rock is bigger than it ever has been, but punk rock is not big. Punk rock has never really been big. It kind of got big for a while in the early 90s, but if you really think about it, it's bigger now. So it's weird because there's more people now, there's more money everywhere, you can make more money, but also things are so different. So they've changed so much that it's hard to really compare the two. So like when you talk about like the Eagles, the band, the Eagles, or Michael Jackson being like some of the highest selling albums in history, well, that's so much bigger than most people sell nowadays. But the shows nowadays are bigger. Like when we play the House of Blues and it's like 1,600 people in Houston and Dallas or whatever, that's bigger than we ever played coming up in the mid-90s. I don't remember selling out the House of Blues in Chicago when we opened for Blink there. Sure, maybe it was sold out, but like the Metro, perfect example. Metro in Chicago, we just played 2 nights there, and when we were touring and playing there regularly on tours in the late 90s, early 2000s, would always play one show there. We'd sell it out, but one show. So now we do 2 shows. And it's like that with, like, say, Anaheim, California, the House of Blues down there. That place probably holds 2,000 people. I think the old one held maybe like 1,800. We would always do one show there, 1,800, boom, sold out. Nowadays we're doing, we would do 2 shows at the House of Blues in Chicago, or we'll do, 2 shows at the Rock Bottom in Chicago, or in Anaheim we'll do, 1 show, but it's at the 2,000 cap room, or, So yes, punk rock is smaller, but it's also bigger. Like, punk rock's smaller than everything else. So what I mean by that is, when you're out in the world, you're competing with movies, TV shows, social media, TikTok videos, Instagram, YouTube, mainstream media, all the news channels, anything that's going on in the tabloids, politics, entertainment world, sports, football, basketball, hockey, soccer, you name it. All of these things are competing with punk rock, with bands, with artists, with music. So that's why punk rock is so small nowadays. It's not because we're not going to Little Rock or this or that. Like, if more people wanted to go to shows, of course they would. But there's a lot of kids out there online. There's a lot of kids out there on their phone, and they have no interest in punk rock. They have no interest in live music. Now, does that mean there's not more that I can do, or we can do as a band or as artists, as creatives, to get the word out and grow our business or grow our following? No, there's plenty of things to do. And we do those things, although we don't do all of the things that you can do. We kind of pick and choose what fits our personality, because not everybody should be doing the exact same things, promo-wise, marketing-wise, even artistic-wise. Just do what you do. So punk rock is small, but it's weird because it's bigger than ever. So who knows? Now, what can we do to make the younger generations get into punk rock? I don't know. I'm not really worried about that. I think we're reaching people, and we're talking to people about music, the music we play, and all you can do is be good and communicate as well as you can. And when something doesn't work, shift your tactics, make some moves, do some pivots, some mid-course corrections. We've talked about that over the years, and that never changes. And we're never going to be able to just sit around and rest on our laurels. Not in punk rock. Maybe if you're a doctor and you do the good surgery and you get paid a bunch of money, and then you can just hang out after the surgery's done. But I mean, even doctors, they're working harder than I am. Let's put it that way. They've done a lot of research, a lot of schooling, a lot of whatever. But my point is there's never going to be a time. Me personally, I don't see a time where I'm going to be able to just chill. Like, we're always, sure, plan a vacation. It's good for you. But overall, if I'm not moving and making things happen, things will start to lie fallow and start to die down. And a perfect example is my driveway, here in Bremerton. Trees keep dying or moving, we have these huge windstorms. A tree will fall down. A tree fell down last year in my front yard, and luckily didn't hit the house or anything, just right across the front yard. Just like, if you don't maintain things, they fall apart all around you. And that's punk rock in a nutshell. All right, Carl, best of luck to you, and I hope we get to Little Rock, because Little Rock is a great little town. I enjoy it. Played there with Tumbledown back in the day. Very cool. A couple more. Let's do a couple more.
Hi, my name's Sebastian, and I saw your band yesterday. Bye.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks for calling in, Sebastian. Thanks for seeing my band yesterday. Very cool. Yeah, bring the kids, bring the whole family. I love seeing all the generations at the shows, and seeing like Michael called in, the first caller, Michael Fincher. You know, getting to bring his daughter to the show and have her get squeezed a little in the pit, but not too much. You know, like it all came out okay. That's what we want. You know, that's what we love. All right, what's next?
Hey, Mike, it's Carl from Little Rock again. Just one more follow-up question. You guys opened up for Screeching Weasel, who's another one of my most favoriteest bands in the world. Is Ben Weasel that much of a jerk, like Joe Queer says? Can you give us some inside baseball, please? Thank you.
All right. You know, it's funny because everybody has their own experiences, and with me and Ben, I think he's great. Ben has always been respectful to me. Sometimes he's moody. Sometimes he'll be less talkative, but he's never rude, and he's never downright telling me anything that is offensive. So he talks to me like I'm a peer, like I'm a friend of his, like I'm somebody that's also doing this dream, you know? And so I haven't had those experiences, but I have witnessed it a little bit. Like I've witnessed him yelling at people from the audience. We played with them in Vancouver, BC, and Portland. So Portland, then Vancouver, up in Canada. In the Canada show, he got in a fight with somebody verbally, not punching, but verbally off the stage, and they're like yelling back at him and just like back and forth, and yeah. So I could see that side of him does exist down there inside him, and he can be a jerk sometimes. But can't we all? Yes, we can. But I love them. I love Screeching Weasel. I think they write amazing songs. Their new stuff is really good. I'm a huge fan of like Boogada 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 and all that old stuff. I love all those songs and albums, but the new album, the new last couple albums that they've put out, worth checking out. Highly recommend. Really good stuff. And it's Screeching Weasel. It sounds like Screeching Weasel. It just sounds like more tight and more punchy. It's very good. Let's do one more, and you guys can be on your way. Do what you got to do. Maybe you're working. Maybe you're at home doing chores. Maybe you're just chilling. I appreciate you. Call in. Let me know what you want this year to look like, what you got planned, whatever you want to say. You got a story about the Dallas shows. You got a story about any MXPX time in your life. I'd love to hear it. The number is 360-830-6660. All right, here's one more voicemail.
Hey, Mike. Gabe Droz in Frisco, Texas. Thank you for playing in Dallas. Had a great time. And I'm just real surprised and honored. All right, see ya.
Okay. Excellent. Thanks for calling in. Frisco, Texas is right north of Dallas and Fort Worth. And funny thing is Tumbledown played there. We played there in a bar. I want to say it was on my birthday one year, probably 2011, 2012, somewhere in there. Yeah, man, we had a blast down there. And, you know, I think it was when I was down with Tumbledown a lot. We would play Texas a lot. We played California to Texas and all around Colorado and up. And we did that a few times. And man, I just really, really enjoyed being in Texas, and it made sense. And then coming back with MXPX the last few years, recording Southbound to San Antonio, our latest live album down there. Man, nothing but good experiences. Appreciate you all. Like I said, the food is out of control. We went to Buc-ee's on our way from Houston to Dallas. We stopped at Buc-ee's. Everybody got to experience that. And some of these guys from California had never experienced Buc-ee's, and they're just like, what? They're kind of like not into it, like right when we were pulling up. And he's like, this is dumb looking. And then, don't worry, just wait, go in. And for those that haven't been to Buc-ee's, it's a truck stop, but it's a truck stop that has really, really good branding and merchandise, but not only the merchandise and branding. I mean, that's obviously important, but the food. They've got all these different kinds of food, different kinds of fresh sandwiches, different kinds of pickles and pickled things and pastries and cookies and breakfast burritos and regular burritos. They got everything all in there, and it's all lined up, and it's just so good. It's amazing. I wish I worked for them. Well, not really, but I wish I could go eat there more often. But we got a Buc-ee's a little outside Waco, but not right in town. So anytime we're in Waco hanging out, we travel outside somewhere and there's a Buc-ee's, we always stop. I'm talking about the family now, but yeah, it was great to take the whole MXPX crew out and enjoy Texas. All right. Thanks for calling from Frisco. That was a good spot, like I said. Always love Dallas. Next week, I don't know what's going to happen. Probably another episode. Shout out to my boy, producer Bob McKnight. Check out his show, the Bob and Katie Show. I don't know if they've been doing episodes lately. They might be on hiatus or on spring break or something. I don't know. But Bob is one of the best humans I know. He's got a lot of great ideas, great business ideas. And so it's fun to bounce ideas off of each other throughout the weeks. That's it. If you want to call in, please do. 360-830-6660. And MXPX.com. Listen to the new song, Set a Fire. If you haven't already heard that, go add it to your music library, Set a Fire, and go watch the video. I haven't checked the YouTube video count lately. Probably needs to be pumped up. So go watch that video a couple times. Add MXPX to your daily library. All your favorite songs. Would love for you to listen to those daily. That really does help us out a lot. It really keeps us rolling. As you know, streaming is sort of the new way to keep people afloat, keep artists afloat. All right, that's it. I know that I feel like I'm forgetting something. I really do. But I guess I'll tell you next week. All right, peace out. Love you guys. Bye.
This is